Before we begin this chapter, remember to check Reese's desk to find Lynette's third letter. This time she will give us the Gram, a Reese exclusive sword that is extremely powerful. It will serve us well for a long time. Due to the meddling of the Raids Empire, Bornea, the longtime ally of Narvia, has suddenly betrayed us. Caught utterly off guard, Narvian forces found themselves decimated by their former allies, retreating all the way to Aryuza village, a mere stone's throw away from Navarang itself. Lord Vermilion, son of our close ally Duke Roswick, has lost half of his already meager army and can barely scramble a defense to protect the fort in Aryuza, let alone the entire town filled with civilians. Reese's forces are thrown into the fray to help our new friend in stopping the Bornean advance at all costs. So begins Chapter 5 Main, Hold the Fort. Objective: protect Vermilion for 15 turns. Alternatively, the map can be ended early by assassinating or capturing the enemy general Lyark, or forcing Lyark to retreat by decimating his forces. As for our tactics points, 1 point is earned for clearing the map as usual. A second point will be rewarded if the map is ended by the defeat or capture of Lyark instead of timeout. The final point will be rewarded if Lyark is taken down within 10 turns. 10 turns might not sound like a lot given the heavy enemy lines, but fortunately this is actually a very easy win condition. In fact, you should come into this map expecting to win by turn 10. A new recruit awaits you on this map. Marcel is single-handedly holding off the eastern advance, and you can speak to him as Reese to recruit him. But to keep him forever, you must keep every civilian NPC alive until the end of the map, which is every green NPC. Losing the yellow NPC soldiers will not disqualify you from the recruitment. Marcel is yet another armor knight, but unlike the other ones you had so far, he can actually do the job expected of him with a combination of guard and shield fare, allowing him to soak up a lot of punishment on behalf of another ally. A lot of his defensive budget lies in his shields, which can't break easily due to how frequently he will use it. Large shields are fairly pricey, and Marcel will still suffer from the many penalties of being an armor knight, which ultimately hampers his viability. But for this map at least, he makes for a solid bodyguard against the onslaught. Vermilion resides in the left castle with a few bodyguards, including Sylvis. You might have noticed that she was conspicuously absent from the mercenary guild for this chapter, and it's because she's actually on this map as an NPC. While Vermilion's death spells game over and Sylvis's death spells a loss of Sylvis, for the most part you don't actually have to worry about them. His door guards can hold the line for a while, and Sylvis herself is no slouch. The true battle takes place mostly in the center of the map. A cliffside makes a good choke point, and we have the high ground advantage, but the enemies coming in are immense. Right next to your starting location is a shop that sells a variety of bracelets. Generally, most infantry unit that cannot equip a horse can equip bracelets, but there are some exceptions, and it is possible to be able to equip neither. These bracelets are sold for not an unreasonable, albeit still high price. Over the course of the game, you will eventually acquire more bracelets than you can reasonably equip, so whether or not you want to buy some here is up to you. The first two side quests of this map are relatively close to each other. Munwer is hiding in a house beside the rightmost villager, and his location will be shown to you in a dialogue. He can be revealed in the same way as any other unit was hide. On turn 2, Munwer will begin to move, but constantly wanders around the village. Capturing him requires no combat, simply put a unit next to him and click the capture command. All you need to do is spare a unit from holding the front lines to take him in. Near Munwer in the village, there is one house with a white sparkle that a unit with search can enter. You will trigger combat and then acquire a sun shard afterward. The next side quest is the NPC unit Gash, who Ward specifically must speak to and convince him to leave. However, Gash is exceptionally stubborn and requires 3 different conversations from Ward to finally move. It is recommended to do this as fast as possible, as you need 3 turns in total to complete the side quest. Make sure to get this one out of the way early on, while the front lines are not being fully threatened, so Ward can actually start participating in combat from turn 4 onwards. In the center, there are a few NPCs helping you fight off the Bornean advance. One of them in particular is an NPC named Eric. While he's on the front lines, he will start to retreat into the safety of Vermilion's castle. Izerna in particular must speak to him and keep him alive until the end of the map to complete the side quest. For the most part, once Eric makes it into the castle, his safety along with Van Million's will be guaranteed. Bornean reinforcements will be streaming in from the eastern side of the map. On turn 4, a large number of enemies will come in, including a race priest that drops a Soma on death, along with the soldier Arnold. Saving Arnold is our final side quest. Once he approaches, have Christine speak to him and convert him to an allied unit. He will then attempt to flee the map. He doesn't have to leave the map to have the quest be completed, he simply needs to survive the map as an allied unit. The priest as well should be killed for the Soma fruit. Basic hit and run can take him down for this valuable drop without stirring up too much of the hornet's nest. Finally, in terms of material drops, the Western Ballista drops a winch on death. Despite the fact that Borneans have deployed 2 ballistas on this map, I have never once in my life seen either of these 2 ballistas fire for some weird reason. Make sure to take some time to take down the left ballista as the initial enemies thin out, and when they do, we should start making preparations to take Lyark down before turn 10. Just above the house containing the aforementioned Sun Shard is a house that any unit can investigate. You will be told that this house is a tunnel that can be used once, which takes you to the other side of the river, and the exit is conveniently adjacent to where Lyark is standing. Once a unit uses this one-use tunnel, they will vanish from the map for 2 turns, and reappear next to Lyark at the start of the 3rd turn. Since we have until turn 10 to defeat Lyark, the latest we can send someone into this tunnel is on turn 8, where this unit can ambush Lyark on turn 10 to score the takedown. While it is sufficient to just kill Lyark to end the map, we really want to capture him instead. He's holding a general shield, which Erzheimer will buy for his item collection at a high price. It may seem impossible to cripple him, but rest assured it is actually quite easy. This is because Lyark has an unlisted skill called Weakness, which makes him easier to cripple than normal. I have previously mentioned in these videos that I refrain from giving specific strategies, as I want to leave the solution finding to the individual player and allow them to find their own solutions. But for the purpose of this capture, I will break this rule and offer one, but definitely not the only, clean solution. If you have a Daud that is at his base strength and is holding the iron axe that he joins you with, he can battlecry exactly 4 times and enter the house on turn 8. This puts him next to Lyark on turn 10. If base Daud with 4 battlecry stacks attacks him with Polarize and Lyark blocks, it will deal exactly 34 damage out of his 35 health. Combined with his weakness passive, this is just shy of a 50-50 shot to inflict cripple on him. Since you're doing this on turn 10, the game will have saved and you can reload to try again until this hit connects through the shield and cripples him as a result. Afterwards, have another unit in range swoop in to capture Lyark, instantly ending the map. I do not claim this to be the only solution, and you might find different ways to take him down in one turn. Feel free to experiment around and find your own way to take him in by sending your own choice of units through that tunnel. However you do it, ensure that by turn 9, a unit is within range to capture Lyark as soon as the cripple is landed. We'll be cleanly out of here without any further incidents once Lyark is taken captive or killed. See you soon for the side maps of Chapter 5.